Britain in World War II. A situation in Europe before World War II. A post-World War I, the Treaty of Versailles, 1919, imposed harsh terms on Germany, fostering resentment and the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. Britain and France, with an appeasement policy, initially sought to avoid conflict, as seen in the Munich Agreement, 1938, allowing Germany to annex Sudetenland. A German rearmament. Hitler violated the Treaty of Versailles by rearming the Rhineland, 1936, annexing Austria, Anschluss, 1938, and occupying Czechoslovakia, 1939, escalating tensions. A British policy. Under Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain, Britain prioritised peace, but Germany's invasion of Poland on the 1st of September 1939 forced action. A declaration of war and Britain's role. At the 3rd of September 1939, after Germany refused to withdraw from Poland, Britain and France declared war on Germany, marking the start of World War II. The early phase, 1939 to 1940, was called the Phony War due to limited major military action. Our isolation. After France fell in June 1940, Britain became the only Western European nation resisting the Axis powers of Germany, Italy, and Japan, placing it in a precarious yet defiant position. A leadership transition. Chamberlain resigned after the Norway campaign failure, paving the way for Winston Churchill to become Prime Minister on the 10th of May 1940, marking a turning point in wartime leadership. An internal situation in Britain. Air war preparations. The government issued mobilization orders, built thousands of air raid shelters, and implemented the Blitz plan to protect civilians from bombings. Economic challenges. Britain relied heavily on imported food and materials, leading to a naval blockade by Germany and the introduction of rationing from early 1940. A national spirit. Despite bombings, citizens showed unity through campaigns like Dig for Victory, home gardening, and women's participation in the workforce, e.g., WAAF and ATS. International relations. A alliance with the British Empire. Colonies like Canada, Australia, and India contributed troops and resources, strengthening Britain's war effort. A relations with the US. Before US entry in 1941, Britain received aid via the Lend-Lease Act, providing weapons and goods. A confrontation with the Soviet Union, initially at odds due to the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, 1939, between Germany and the Soviet Union. The two became allies after Germany invaded the Soviet Union in 1941. A strategic context. A geographical strategy. Britain's island position prevented direct invasion but made it vulnerable to blockades and air raids. A challenge from German Air Force. The Luftwaffe launched large-scale bombings, Blitz, from September 1940, targeting London and industrial cities, testing Britain's defensive capabilities. 3 key events. 1. Dunkirk evacuation, 26/5, the 4th of June 1940. A context. After Germany launched a blitzkrieg against France and the Benelux countries, Allied forces, mainly British and French, were pushed back to the Dunkirk coast in France. Over 330,000 soldiers faced the risk of annihilation or capture. Operation Dynamo. Britain mobilized all available vessels, from warships to small fishing boats, in the little ships of Dunkirk to rescue soldiers. Despite Luftwaffe attacks, over 198,000 British troops and 140,000 Allied soldiers were saved. A significance. Although most heavy equipment was lost, the evacuation preserved British forces for continued fighting, boosting national morale with the term Miracle of Dunkirk. Churchill called it a great deliverance in the midst of adversity. A consequence. Germany gained control of the French coast, directly threatening Britain and leading to the planned invasion, Operation Sea Lion, which was later cancelled. 2. Battle of Britain, 10/7, the 31st of October 1940. A context. After Dunkirk, Hitler aimed to force Britain into submission before an invasion. The Luftwaffe began bombing Royal Air Force, RAF, bases and later targeted civilians in the Blitz campaign. A confrontation. The RAF, with heroic pilots like Douglas Bader and radar support, countered over 2,600 German aircraft. A highlight was the air battle over London, where civilians endured 57 consecutive nights of bombing. Air outcome. The RAF emerged victorious due to flexible tactics and resilience, causing Hitler to postpone Operation Sea Lion. Around 40,000 civilians died, but national spirit was reinforced by Churchill's speech, "Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few." A significance. This was the first major air battle in history, proving the strength of air defense and preventing a German invasion of Britain. 3. Normandy Campaign, D-Day, the 6th of June 1944. Context. After the US entered the war and the Soviet Union opened an Eastern Front, the Allies planned to liberate Western Europe. Britain played a key role in planning and providing troops for the largest amphibious invasion in history. Air execution. Over 156,000 troops from Britain, the US, Canada, and other nations landed on 5 Normandy beaches: Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, Sword. Britain was responsible for Gold and Juno beaches, with units like the 50th Infantry Division. Thousands of ships and planes supported the effort, despite poor weather. A success. Despite heavy losses, around 4,400 soldiers died on the first day. The Allies secured the beaches and expanded the campaign, leading to the liberation of Paris in August 1944. A significance. D-Day marked a turning point, forcing Germany to fight on 2 fronts, leading to its collapse in 1945. The leadership of British generals like Bernard Montgomery was crucial. Historical figure. Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill became Prime Minister on May 10, 1940, at a critical juncture for Britain. His leadership and oratory skills were pivotal in boosting national morale. His famous speech, "We shall fight on the beaches," delivered June 4, 1940, after the Dunkirk evacuation, rallied the nation with lines like, "We shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds, we shall never surrender." Another iconic address, this was their finest hour, June 18, 1940, inspired resilience against the looming German threat. Churchill's unwavering determination and strategic vision, including forging the Grand Alliance with the US and Soviet Union, were instrumental in sustaining Britain's spirit and eventual victory. Cultural and social impact. The war transformed British society. The naval blockade by Germany led to severe rationing, with families receiving limited food and goods via coupons. The Blitz, starting in September 1940, saw cities like London endure relentless bombings, killing over 40,000 civilians and destroying homes, yet fostering community solidarity through air raid shelters and mutual aid. Women joined the workforce in unprecedented numbers, serving in organizations like the Women's Auxiliary Air Force, WAAF, and Auxiliary Territorial Service, ATS, shifting gender roles permanently. These experiences shaped modern Britain, promoting social equality, e.g., the welfare state post-war, and a collective memory of resilience. Legacy. Britain's victory in World War II, culminating in Germany's surrender on May 8, 1945, VE Day, marked a triumph of endurance and alliance. Churchill's leadership laid the groundwork for post-war international cooperation, notably the formation of NATO in 1949, which solidified Western defence against future threats. The war's end also accelerated the decline of the British Empire, redirecting focus to global partnerships and shaping Britain's role as a key player in the modern world order.